Hi guys, Neil at Italia Autos here. Welcome back to another episode on my channel. We are back with the Fiat Coupe. I think that's going to be the only video for the foreseeable future because I've got that much to do on it. So today I hope to be taking the front end apart, removing the radiator and all the other damaged parts and seeing how much it's going to cost me to replace all those. Also going to remove the alternator. I want to get it over to my guy over in Birmingham to get it fully refurbished. And I also want to start doing the Cambelt. So I'm going to start by stripping the front end off, put everything in the boot all together so nothing goes missing because it's going to be there for a while. I'm going to try and do all the mechanics on the front end first just because it makes sense. The rear end's going to be the harder one to do, and at least once the front end's done the car will still be mobile until the rear subframe gets taken off. But spoken to the customer since the last episode, he is all happy to go ahead with the full repairs, even wants new disc and pads all the way around and new shockers and springs. So we've definitely got my work cut out for me on this one, but it's going to be an amazing car once it's finished. So let's get cracking and get this car apart. Handy tip is when you've got Phillips screws to undo and they're not coming undone easily with a normal screwdriver, get a ratchet attachment because you get a lot more purchase on the screw and you're pretty much guaranteed to get it off and not to round it. Now, what's happened with these two screws here is the clip underneath which they screw through has rusted away, so it's just spinning. As this bumper is scrap, I can just pull it off and stick it in the bin. This front panel here is non-existent as well, there's not much left on that. Let's get this radiator support off now. Hopefully the bolts don't break. Well, that's just rounding now. Ugh. The joys of restoring old cars is nothing comes apart. One of the 4 bolts have came out, that's it. Oh, I've been working on it for 20 minutes and I'm filthy already. Ah, all done. Well, the cooling fan still spins, but it is actually out of shape. So we shall see if we can get a new or a used one of those that we can get to looking like new again. Now on to removing the alternator. I've already removed the two electrical connections. I'm going to have to remove this pipe here to allow the alternator to come out. There is one bolt at the bottom, which you can't see, just there, and another one behind. So I'm not going to do this one on camera, just for the fact it's going to be quite difficult for you to see it. So jump cut to me pulling this alternator out. There we go, one seized solid alternator removed. Gonna make a few phone calls to see how much it's going to cost to do this one, have a word with the customer, get it sent off, and then we can start cracking on with the Cambelt. Now it's time to tackle the Cambelt. As you can see, you haven't got much room here at all, so I'm going to pull the coolant bottle out of the way. It gives me access to some bolts on the side cover here. Strip the top of the engine off, strip everything off on the side of the engine I need to take off, and then we should be good to crack on doing the Cambelt. After about 20 minutes of faffing around, moving the engine bolts, trying to make sure none of them broke, I have managed to get all the engine mounts off. Move the engine over probably about an inch, 2 centimetres. Managed to get my little ride bit down in there to undo the 2 further bolts. So now we should be able to just lift the cover out. And now we have the challenging part of moving the engine over a little bit further, so we can get the water pump out and the tensioners off. Because I bet this car's probably never ever had them. Just been setting up the timing on the engine before I take the belt off, just to make sure everything was okay. It's now at TDC. The intake cam is perfectly lined up, and the exhaust cam is just a smidge out. I'd probably say that's near enough half a tooth, probably. So what I've got to do now is take the belt off, get all the timing set up, remove the water pump, and fingers crossed we can get everything off without any issues. Cambelt is now removed. It needed changing, but it wasn't cracking too badly. That was probably over 7 years since that Cambelt was done. out, but I've now gone to drop the bolt. It's so fiddly just getting down to these bolts. The question is there enough room to get the tensioner off? I don't think there's going to be. Nope. I need to move that engine over some more, but first of all I'm going to get the water pump out as well. The water pump is now removed, but struggling for room to get it out. Get more bits off to make some room. Now give me plenty of room to get that water pump out. Ta-da! There we go. That is a very, very old tensioner. As you can see, it's like the acrylic plastic one. So we'll be putting a proper metal one in there. Tensioner is now back on. Now to put the other tensioner on, and then finally the water pump. You can see two different style water pumps, one with a plastic impeller which is prone for cracking, and the metal impeller one. Let's fit the seal. And now just make sure the surface is all clean. Give it a wipe over. Make sure the bottom of the water pump housing is also clear. Tell you what, it's absolutely boiling in the unit today. It feels like it's about 40 degrees. Feels like I should be sunning myself on a beach, not stuck in a garage. What I'm doing is just nipping each side of the water pump up first. I'm not going to do it tight at all because I need to make sure that water pump goes in nice and centre. Because if it doesn't, you can damage the seal. So that is the hard part done now. All the tensions are off. I'll torque them all up in a minute. First of all, I'm going to get the Cambelt on. Now I'm using an SKF kit, which is my my second preference other than dealer fit. So what I'm finding ordering parts for this is no one's got anything at the minute. I'm assuming it's all because of lockdown and restricted travel. What I'm really struggling to get hold of are the brake discs at the minute. Called my local motor factors, and they can't get any. I've used my normal online part suppliers. Nope, they haven't got any either. Get pads, not a problem, I've got pads, but the old discs, can't get them at the moment. Remind me before I put the belt on, I need to move that cam round and then tighten it up again, otherwise the timing's still going to be out. All in time, in time. Let's get the belt on now. Timing belt on. Belt's all tensioned up now. I didn't record it because it's exactly the same process as on my twin spark video, so I will put a link into that now, or at the end of the video anyway. Remove the cam locks, rotate the engine twice, recheck the timing, and then pop it all back together. So let's rotate that now. I think top dead centre must have moved when I put the belt on, so the timing's out again. So what I'm going to do, take the belt off, time it all up again properly, and then we should be good. Engine's all timed up now. I've rotated the engine twice, torqued everything back up. So what I'm going to do now is just button it all back together now. And I am stuck waiting for some parts, still I can't get a rocker cover, and I'm stuck waiting for spark plugs because I forgot to order them, being silly me. But as the car runs okay, I can change the spark plugs and the gasket afterwards. But yeah, it's still a long wait for the gasket. I think about 4 or 5 days until that can come in, which is very annoying. So right, let's get this all back together now. So there's going to be no starting of the engine today because the alternator's not going to be back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little bit of service work. I'm going to change the oil and change the air filter. So let's get cracking with that. I've seen worse for 7 years old. Genuine one going back in. We're all clean in there, no cobwebs or dead things. Now on to the sump plug. Somebody has already given it a go and rounded it off. So what we're going to try and do is see if we can get something a little bit bigger and a little bit differently shaped in there, and we'll see if we can get it undone. If not, I'm going to have to suck the oil out of it and deal with this later. I have my doubts whether this is going to work. Oh no, it worked. So another part to order is a new sump plug, which I should have ordered already really. Well, the oil filter isn't in the easiest places to access. It is just up inside there. If I can get the phone through there, you can just about see it there. I have loosened it off a little bit. There we go, one oil filter removed. And there's all the old radiator aluminium corrosion. Genuine oil filter being used. Let's just lubricate up the seal. I have put some more oil into the filter itself as well. Not really much for you to see there, is there really? Well, there's the little pinhole in the exhaust again for you to see. Right, let's tighten that up. And then we're all done. Right, I think I'm at the point now where I can't really do any more on it today because I'm waiting for parts. Can't put any oil in it because I've got no sump plug. Can't start the engine because I've got no alternator. Can't start it because there's no oil in it. So let's down tools on it today, wait for some more parts to arrive, and then I can do another episode on it next week, doing the rest of it. So my next question to you guys is, what can we do with this front slam panel? I know they are nigh impossible to get hold of in good condition. I have seen a few people take them off, blast them and repaint them, but as this one is quite corroded, especially here, what can we do? I don't think it's going to be very easy to weld to it because it is just thin tin. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you can do. I've also got to do something with cleaning up all this rust down here and making it look presentable. But at the moment we haven't got to quite worry about that because we've got to get the slam panel off first, and I wonder how many bolts on that will break. So yeah, let's crack on with it another day. So thanks for watching. If you've got any tips or questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.